What's up, everybody? Chef Glenn B, and I'm back in the kitchen, and today I'm working on a salad niçoise, or as we say in America, Niçoise salad. It's a traditional French dish, and I'm going to attempt to pair it with a French wine. Let's get right into it. Okay, so let's talk about the ingredients for my salad. So let's start with the lettuce. I'm using a butter leaf lettuce. This is actually going to be the bed of the salad. I've got hard-boiled eggs, red onion, tomato, caper, Niçoise olives. I've got some solid tuna in olive oil. This is actually yellowfin tuna. You can get albacore tuna. Whatever you do, get a quality tuna. Don't get a chunky tuna, or a chunk light tuna rather. Get a solid tuna and make sure it's in olive oil. I'm using haricot vert. A lot of recipes call for just regular green beans, but I like to use the haricot vert. They're a little more tender. And I'm using red potatoes. All right, so the ingredients for my dressing, I'm using fresh lemon. I've got some shallots, Dijon mustard, fresh basil, fresh thyme, fresh oregano, of course, some salt and pepper, and I've got some extra virgin olive oil. First thing I need to do is I need to get my dressing made. All right, so I want to get my dressing made and get my lemons cut so I can get them juiced. All right, so into my bowl with my lemon juice. Make sure I don't get any of those seeds in there. All right, so next my Dijon mustard. I'm gonna go ahead and add my shallots. And all of my herbs, starting with the basil. My thyme. Oregano, some fresh cracked black pepper, and some salt. Give it a whisk. I'm going to go ahead and drizzle in my extra virgin olive oil. All right, so I'm gonna taste my dressing, see what we're working with here. Nice and tangy. That lemon is popping. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. I'm also gonna add a smidge more olive oil. Fresh herbs are just zinging. Really good. I can imagine what it's going to be like in a few minutes after it sits and marinates for a while. Next thing I need to do is I want to get my onions sliced up because I want to get a little dressing on it and allow the onion to marinate in the dressing a little bit. It's actually going to take a little bit of the bite out of the onion as well as going to season and flavor the onion. I'm gonna take some of the dressing, I'm gonna put it on the onions. Break those onions up real good. So I've got some of the dressing on my onions. I'm gonna cover these. I wanna set them aside. I'm not going to put them in the refrigerator because I want the salad to be room temperature. So I need to get my butter leaf lettuce cleaned. So I've got my salad spinner. I want these leaves in bite sizes, but before I do that, I want to wash them. It's a lot easier to wash one bigger piece than to wash 3 or 4 smaller pieces. So I'm going to wash these up, get them spinned and dried. I'm going to tear them into bite-sized pieces, and I'll meet you right back here. So I've got my lettuce torn into bite-sized pieces. I'm gonna cover this up and set it aside, and I'm gonna get my tomatoes sliced up. So I'm gonna cut the cores out of my tomatoes, and then I'm gonna cut them into wedges. Got my tomatoes cut. I'm gonna cover those, set those aside, and get my eggs peeled. I also want to cut those into wedges. All right, so I've got my eggs wedged. I need to get the tuna opened and quite simply just drain it and put it on this dish here. Okay, so I'm gonna blanch my haricot vert. I've got my water boiling. I'm gonna add plenty of salt to the water. And I've got an ice bath right here. I'm just gonna drop my beans into the water, and I'm gonna blanch them for about a minute or so. All right, so I got this pot that I blanched my haricot vert in. I dumped some of the water out of it, and I got this steamer basket. I'm gonna sit this steamer basket in here because I got to get my potatoes steamed. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my potatoes in the steamer. So I'm gonna start by putting down a bed of lettuce. All right, so I'm ready to assemble. All right, so I'm ready to pull my potatoes. Obviously, you don't want to do this without something on your hands, but I'm gonna dump these in the bowl. I'm gonna place some of my dressing on the potatoes. And some salt. And I'm gonna toss them up. And I'm gonna sit these aside for a minute while I continue to put my salad together. So I'm gonna place my tuna right in the middle. And I don't wanna break it up too much, I just wanna leave it chunky. Break it a little, not too much. So I'm gonna place my potatoes in two places. I'm gonna put them on either side of the tuna here. All right, so my red onions, let's see. I'm gonna put the red onions here and here. All right, so I've got my capers and my Niçoise olives. We're gonna go either side here, so I'm gonna go capers here. And my Niçoise olives here. All right, my salad's done, and it's quite a beautiful salad if I do say so myself. Freaking awesome. All right, so first thing I need to do before I get into the salad, let's taste the wine. So I'm pairing my Niçoise salad with a Whispering Angel Rosé. This is a non-vintage rosé, not a non-specific vintage. And so as I mentioned, I wanted to pair my French salad with a French wine. So this is a rosé from France. Beautiful color. Very floral and fruity nose. Peaches, strawberry, wow, raspberry. It's all over the place with the fruit. Let's see what we're working with on the palate. Nice and juicy. The acidity right out in the front. Nice acidity. And the slight sweetness really balances that acidity. I mean, you get the acidity, and then right behind that comes this nice fruity wave of just nice flavor. Light bodied with a little bit of oomph to it. Not totally light bodied, but it's light with just a little bit of extra body to it. Nice. The good thing about Whispering Angel is it's widely available. You can get Whispering Angel just about everywhere. Find a Costco, and they usually have Whispering Angel on the shelf. Okay, so now with this salad, you saw that I dressed the actual potatoes and the onions. I wanted to mellow the onions out. Now what you can do with this salad is you can actually you can individually dress everything, just about. So you can take those greens, you can dress the greens, you can take the tomatoes and dress the tomatoes, and dress everything separately so that when your guests eat the salad, I mean, dress everything except for the tuna and the eggs, okay? But everything else you can dress, and you can basically make it easy so that when your guests go to eat the Niçoise salad, they don't have to dress it. You can do that, or you could take the dressing at the end and you can drizzle the dressing on the top, or you can have the dressing on the side and allow them to spoon the dressing themselves. You have 3 options. You can go whichever way works better for you, do it. So I'm ready to taste my salad. So I'm gonna go with a little green beans, a little potato, a little onion, a little bit of everything. And little greens. And I've got my dressing here. Dressing is really nice and herby. All right, let's go. Green beans are perfectly cooked. That dressing is nice. Potatoes are perfectly cooked. They got the perfect amount of give. They won't fall apart, but they're really nice and tender. My onions, along with some greens. Onions are mellow enough where I'm just eating the onions and the green, you know what I mean? Normally, you want onions with a mouthful of everything else, but they've mellowed just enough so that they're tasty by themselves. The olive and the egg. So eating everything, you kind of want to get a little of this and a little of that together with things. The combination of just about everything separately. I mean, it's like an adventure on a plate. You got so many combinations on here on the fork. The tuna. Let's see with everything I got going on in my mouth. Let's see if it's pairing with this wine. Can't miss. Wow. Let's try that again. I gotta double check, because like I said, I got a lot going on this plate, but let's put a lot on the fork at one time, or in my mouth rather. That's how we're going to truly test. So it really, the wine with the salad, it becomes something really savory. I mean, like it starts off with a little sweet tinge, but then it just really becomes something savory, like a mushroom umami type of thing. Really, really savory. Just crazy how the pairing works. I gotta try it again though. I got a little bit left on my plate here. Yes. Fantastic pairing. And the great thing about everything is that it's pretty healthy. I mean, you look at what you got on this plate, there isn't any debauchery anywhere on this plate. Thank you all for taking the time to watch my video today. If you've already subscribed, I'm deeply appreciative. If you're new and you have not subscribed, please take this opportunity to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I regularly drop videos where I share my favorite recipes and I pair them with wines. I'm Chef Glenn B, and as always, eat well.